So good afternoon everyone, good afternoon ma'am. So good afternoon classmates. So our topic for this afternoon is all about the K-12 English curriculum or the philosophy, framework, and rationale. So now, in this lesson, you will be able to understand the philosophy, framework, and rationale of English education in the Philippines. And also, in this lesson, you will be able to develop your own understanding of teaching English in elementary grades. So, Republic Act 10533 entitled An Act of Enhancing the Philippines Basic Education System by Strengthening the Curriculum and Increasing the Numbers of the Year's Basic Education, appropriating funds, therefore for other purposes, also known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, firmly grounds on the implementation of the K-12 curriculum in the Philippines. With it came several changes in the way of teaching and learning are done in the country. So the teaching and English is no expectation. The curriculum is an embodiment of how the nation wishes to address its needs and achieve this inspiration through its people. So in this slide, it's talking about the Republic Act number 10533, or also known or formally known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, which focused on improving the Philippines' basic education system. So it introduced several key changes of this curriculum. So the first is the strengthening the curriculum. It enhanced the content, the structure, and the education curriculum to meet the evolving needs of the learner. Second is to increase the number of the years by basic education. So the law extends the basic education program from 10 years to 12 years. So, implementing the K-12 curriculum, the next slide is the advantage of the K-12 curriculum. So first, builds a strong foundation. Second, makes high-quality education accessible to all. The third is help master social skills. The fourth is to prepare students for a competitive international job market. And the last one is help to become technological profession. So first, build a strong foundation. So build a strong foundation. It is the K-12 curriculum provides students with a more comprehensive education covering fundamental skills in subjects like math, science, and language. So while preparing them for higher education. So the next is makes high quality education accessible to all. So ang both pasabot na ani is makes high quality education accessible to all by standardizing education across the country. So the K-12 program aims to give every student access to quality learning and experience. So the third one is help master social skills. So when we say about help master social skills, it is the curriculum includes activity and the lesson that encourage collaboration, teamwork, and communication. So which are essential for personal and professional growth. So the fourth is the prepare student for a competitive international job market. So when we say about prepare student for a competitive international job market, with additional 2 years of specialized senior high school education, students are better equipped with skills aligned with a global standard, making them competitive in the workforce. So the last advantage of the K-12 is the help become to technologically proficient. So help to become technologically and proficient. The curriculum incorporates the use of technology in learning, preparing students to adapt to demands of teach drive in the world. So next, disadvantage of the K-12 curriculum. So the first is a prolonged beyond the usual use over longer years in school plus 2 years or extending for a considerable distance that was necessary. Second is the K-12 program adds harm to the environment by allocating more transport. The third is parents have struggled financially or have been heavily laden already. So fourth is the congested curriculum. Last or fifth is the lack of classroom, resources, and facilities. So first is a prolonged beyond the usual tedious or longer years in school plus 2 years extended for considerable distance that once necessary. So diri gipunan og duha ka tuig ang curriculum. So sa una is grade 10 na tubuto karon na grade 11 o grade 12. So K-12 program extended the usual school years by 2 years, potentially causing tedium and requiring students to travel further necessary. So next is the K-12 program adds harm to the environment by locating more transport. So environmental harm, the program may be negatively impact to the environment due to increased transportation needs. So daghan na po mga sakyanan kay tungod daghan na po og estudyante. So maglisod og kuan makadaot siya sa ato environment. So third is the financial. Parents have struggled financially or have been heavily laden already. So when it comes to financially na po sila, financial strain on parents may face increased financial burden through extended schooling. So in this grade 10 na to po to, ipunan og grade 11 o grade 12. So naad na po og duha ka tuig. So dugang gastuhanan na po na siya. So ang parents may problema na po siya. So muna usa ka disadvantage sa K-12 curriculum. So the fourth is the congested curriculum. So congested or overcrowded curriculum. The curriculum might be congested or packed. So when we say about overcrowded, so daghan ng mga estudyante. So the last is lack of classroom resources and facilities. So lack of insufficient resources, there may be a lack of classrooms, resources, and facilities to accommodate an expanded program. So lack of classroom tungkol sa kadagdag estudyante, lack of sa mga resources, facilities, kay lahi-lahi og mga program na sa mga 11 TVL, mga anak o carry. So kuwang na og mga facilities. So mo ni siya mga disadvantage sa K-12. So the next is fact check. So the K-12 program was created by a law, and only a law will abolish or repeal it. It cannot be abolished, repealed by the president or anybody for the matter. So even the president dili siya makabuot og pakuan ani nga curriculum. So only the Congress of the Philippines, consisting of the Senate or the House of Representatives, has the power to abolish or repeal a law such as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, popularly known as the K-12 curriculum. So the K-12 curriculum program was established by a law, and only another law can abolish. So mo to ang giingon diri nga kung ang law ang natuan, only a law na po siya ang natuan. So the next slide is all about what is the aim of K-12 English curriculum. So the aim of English learners is acquired highly developed literacy skills that enable them to understand that English language is the most widely used medium of communication in trade and the arts, science, mathematics, and the world of economy. So furthermore, the curriculum aims to help learners to understand that English language is the dynamic social process which responds to the reflex changing social condition, and the English inextricably involved with values, belief, and the way of thinking about ourselves and the world we live in. So the next slide is the K-12 curriculum for English. So what made human civilization possible is language. So as a tool, we use it to express complex and abstract ideas in order for us to cooperate, create ideas, and preserve them. So the K-12 curriculum, or the language art and multiliteracy curriculum, views the language as the primary instrument of thought which we use to bring our ideas into the world around us and make meaning out of the human experience. So the next is the role of language. So when we say about a roles of a language, refers to the principles that govern word formation, syntax, and pronunciation, and several other features of the language. It may also refers to the grammar, or called correct, or conventional form of a language. So this conversation facilitates the way of language. Users construct meaningful utterances to convey ideas. These rules differ from one language to another as they are defined by the people using the language. At the same time, how the conversation changed over time. However, learners or the second language needs to familiarize themselves with this conviction for them to converse language in meaningful ways. So, rules of a language is like the guidelines that tell us how to use words or a sentence correctly. So these rules cover things like how to form words, put words together to make a sentence or syntax. So, and how to pronounce words. They also include what considered proper grammar. These rules help to people understand each other when they talk or write. So it's important to know that these rules are the same for every language. So, and they can even change over time within the same language. So if you are learning a new language, you need to learn these rules to communicate well. So next is, what is language conviction? So language conviction are different combination of a way of a writer manipulates language to show the audience something in a unique way. And also it controls of spelling, grammar, and punctuation are required by students in all curriculum areas for effective speaking, learning, reading, and writing. So, language convictions are simply the rules of guidelines we follow when we write or speak. They like spelling correctly, using proper grammar, and using punctuation mark correctly are all examples of language conviction. So, following this conversation helps people understand what we're saying or writing more easily. So, next is philosophy and rationale. So, philosophy and rationale, language is the basic of all communication and the primary instrument through thinking, learning, and language are interrelated. So, language is governed by rules and systems, so which are used to explore and communicate meaning. And also it defines culture, which is essential to understand oneself, personal identify, or forming interpersonal relationship or socialization. Extending, expresses, reflecting, or through an action. And contributing to better society, language therefore is central to people's intellectual, social, emotional development and has essential role in all learning areas. So language is so important. So it says language is the foundation of all communication and how we think. So thinking, learning, and using language are all connected. So language has a role like grammar and conviction, so like spelling. So that helps us to understand each other, to share meaning, and also share for our culture. And also it helps to build relationship and make society better because of this language is a key part of language in all subjects. So also language is the base of a human relationship we use to communicate, share ideas, and understand each other. So being good at language helps to understand the world, connect and others, and learn about different culture. Okay, next.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Next slide is the following principle guide the K-12 English curriculum. Number 1 is all languages are interrelated and independent. So, number 2, language or acquisition and learning is an active process that begins at the birth and continues throughout life. So, number 3, learning requires meaning. So, number 4, learning is learn about language and how to use it effectively through their engagement with the students of the text. So, 5th, successful language learn involves viewing, listening, reading, and writing activities. So, 6th or the last, language learning involves recognize, accepting, valuing, and building on learnings. Existing language and competencies include the use of non-standard forms of the language, and extending the range of value or language available to learners. So next.
So Keto 12 is education, the framework curriculum, communicative competence, and multi-literacies. So the core focus the making meaning through language. So this highlights the language is the central understanding, expression, and communication. Next is the inner circle, skills and competency, surrounding the core and the aspect like understanding culture, speaking, reading, writing, listening, and viewing. These are the essential skills for effective communication and literacies in various contexts. So third is the middle layer. So it's the processes. This layer includes the negotiation, reflection, interaction, and response. This process show how individuals engage with the language and other to create meaning. Fourth is the outer layer, the broader perspective. So the outer circle includes the components like disclosure, social processes, theories of language, and critical thinking. This is emphasize the rules of the language in the understanding broader social, culture, and theoretical context. So fifth is the feedback and the assessment. The arrows around the framework show the continuous process of assessment and feedback to improve communication skills. So in summarize, this framework emphasizes that communication involves dynamic interplay of language skills and cultural understanding and critical thinking, supported by constant learning and feedback. That's it.